Thomas. This is my co-host Sabrina, and today we're here with Dave Hall, who's an athletic coordinator. Is that right?
Yep.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got there?
Sure. So I work for the city of Marysville, Parks and Rec Department, and as you said, my title is athletic coordinator. So kind of what that means is anything athletic-wise that we're going to do in the Parks and Rec Department, city of Marysville, is I oversee and manage. Yeah.
So I really don't know much about that. I'm going to be
Sure.
honest. So where exactly do you do that, and what are some things that? You said you coordinate anything basically athletic, so
Yep.
football games, soccer, things like that.
So the biggies that athletics that we do, we have a youth basketball league. Probably a lot of students at the school have played in it. I've been there for 11 years. And the basketball league runs from first grade through 8th grade. There's about 800 kids in the program. That's kind of my big thing in the wintertime. So like December, January, February, that's the biggie. Right now we're in the middle of our youth spring soccer season. That's for ages 7 to 14. So about 700 kids playing in that soccer league. So also a lot of kids here at Getchell have participated in that program as well. The summer times we do a lot of athletic camps, like volleyball camp, basketball camp, soccer camp, camps for younger kids, all athletic towards geared. What else? Adult softball. Adult softball in the spring, adult softball in the summer. I also manage the Strawberry Fields Athletic Complex.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's a little overview, I guess.
Yeah, my dad coordinates soccer for probably a little younger than that, right? His kids are 5, 6, like really young youth or youth soccer. So I hear about that all the time. You know, he'll complain about people not being able to get to the right field or not being able to go where they need to go and things like that. So I hear about a lot of that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit about Parks and Rec. I don't know too much about that.
Sure.
So just for the people watching who, like me, just don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
So again, we're a department of the city of Marysville, so it's a government agency. The Parks and Rec Department. We have 32 parks in Marysville. We have a maintenance staff that maintains all of the parks, mowing, trimming, whatnot. You might be familiar with the spray park downtown at Comfort Park.
Yeah. It's like a water park, right?
Water park, yeah, for kids. So we do that. Jennings Park is where my office is based out of. Jennings is a pretty big park. Most people are familiar with in town. 68-acre park. That's our biggest park.
Yeah, I know that you spend a lot of time there. I've been there a couple times. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're pretty familiar.
Yeah, excellent. So our department, again, so we oversee the parks themselves. And then I do the athletic programs. We also have recreation programs. So we have classes, anything from kids dance to adult dance to youth art to adult art, and everything in between that you can possibly imagine. Fitness classes. Yeah.
So, you said you coordinate with teams for basketball, soccer, things like that. Is that like you end up recruiting people for the certain teams and stuff? And I mean, I know that you're not like a coach, but
Sure.
you do have to like do recruiting and scout out.
Yeah, so what we do, so the youth basketball league is a recreational league, so any kid that signs up is going to get to play. So there's not really a recruitment, so to speak. Where the recruitment comes in for me is recruiting coaches and trying to find willing, capable adult volunteers who are willing to coach a team. That's where the recruitment process comes in. The basketball league almost recruits itself. They publish the dates. Here's when registration is. Here's the time.
Yeah.
And those who want to play basketball sign up, and then the recruitment becomes getting coaches. Big part of it is coordinating with the school district actually for gym use. We're using every elementary school gym in the district every night of the week for practice. We use all the middle school gyms for practices, games every Saturday, all day Saturday. Usually about 7 gyms go on a typical Saturday.
So, how involved are you with the actual playing of the sports? Like, do you attend games regularly? How do you help out with coaching, things like that?
Sure. Yeah, I do. I do like coaches meetings and coaches trainings for the coaches. I've been involved in athletics my whole life. It's kind of how I got into what I do now. I've always played sports. I played football, basketball, baseball. I wrestled. I played soccer. So I had that athletic background at a young age and knew that was something I want to do in some work capacity as I got older. But so, yeah, as far as how involved, I'm not actually coaching the teams per se. I coach my own children's teams, but obviously I can't coach 80 different youth basketball teams. So I try to equip those coaches that we do have the best possible and be a support system for them and help them with what they might need to be successful coach.
So, is this something that you've always kind of had an interest in? I mean, did you play sports as a kid, and is this just kind of how you got connected with this, or how did that?
Yeah, that's kind of how it started. Was playing sports as a kid, starting off in playing youth baseball and youth soccer and youth football, and on through high school, playing sports through college, and just always been involved in athletics. Always been an interest. Yeah, always been something I was just kind of drawn to.
Awesome. So we're actually going to take a quick break to go to a segment. So we'll be right back. You clear?
Marysville Getchell, student body president. How was your day so far? Good? Mine was very good too. I met a lot of good people today. There was a lot of people at the school and I just want to meet every single one. There's all such nice people. I love being ASB president. So what are you eating? Oh, Marysville. Nice meeting you. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey! How's your day so far? Good? Wow, that's really cool. You know what else is really cool? I was just in an article called Super Kid. It was really cool. And that's also cool. You hear that? The bell's ringing. Got a blast. How's your Friday?
It's going pretty.
Mine's doing pretty well. So what are you going to do this weekend?
Probably just be
That sounds actually pretty fun. I'm doing a lot. Too much. I'm going on a trip this weekend, but I'll be back on Monday. Let's go. I'll see you on Monday.
Hey, Susan, can you come here? Yeah? Do you know where the student body president is?
Oh, you didn't hear?
Hear what?
Oh, she was in a horrible accident.
I'm going on a trip this weekend. I'm going on a trip. And that is why I am ASB president.
We're back from Marysville Getchell Charger Chat. We're going to keep talking to Dave Paul. Is that correct? Yep. Awesome. So you said that sports is just something that you've kind of been involved with your whole life. So what made you actually want to get into the profession of athletic coordinating, or how did you take that step up?
Sure. So I attended Central Washington University. Got there as a freshman, and freshman, sophomore year, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, to be honest. I was just doing all the basic requirements, getting those out of the way. And I just kind of happened into a class called Foundations of Recreation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it caught my attention, right? I'm like, what is that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I just took this class. Well, it was the intro, basically, to the major, Parks and Recreation Management. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought, honestly, I thought it sounded like an easy A. It sounded easy. So I signed up for the class, and the professor, his name was Bill Vance, was just a really nice guy, cool guy, and he got me just really interested in you can do this for a living. You can take your sports background and put it to work and make a living doing something that you'll enjoy doing. So yeah, I got interested in the major, and then I started working in the summer times for different parks departments and volunteering with the local in Ellensburg, coaching youth sports, being a lifeguard, instructing at camps, things like that. Just kind of stuck ever since.
So when you decided that is something you want to do, is that something you have to get recruited to, or do you submit an application, or how does that process work?
Sure. So I knew, continuing on through college, I learned more about the options for work in the field of parks and recreation at the time, and there's a few different routes you can go. You can go into private recreation, you can work for athletic clubs type of deal. But I thought the best route for me was to work for a municipality, a city government, in a parks and recreation department. I knew that I wanted to have a family someday, and I knew that when you work for a city, for government, you have good benefits, right? So good health insurance and retirement and things like that, which I knew are important if you're gonna for a family, right? So I knew, okay, I want to work for a city. So when I was a junior in college, I went to work for City of Vancouver, Washington, Parks and Rec, and worked in their summer camps. And the following summer, it was convenient because my parents lived there. I could live at home and not have to pay rent. So and then between my junior and senior year, I did an internship with them. And after I graduated, it was, it's not super easy to get a job with a city because a lot of people are lined up waiting for them. So I went to work again for the City of Vancouver for a third summer in a row. They were able to employ me through the summer. And then I was lucky enough to get hired on with the City of Yakima. Again, like you said, submitted an application, got hired, was in charge of all their youth athletics. Off I went from there.
So obviously health insurance and things like that are a real plus to the job.
Yeah.
Is there anything that is a real disadvantage to the job that is something that you would like to change or maybe improve upon?
I don't know if I necessarily want to change, and I don't even know that's a disadvantage, but I think what people need to know if they're going into the field of Parks and Rec is that it's not an 8 to 5 all the time. I mean, you might go 8 to 5 a majority of your time, but you're going to have nights and weekends because that's when people are recreating. People go to work, and so they're doing their recreation in the evening. So if we're the people leading those recreation programs, athletics, whatever it might be, they're going to have games on Saturday. They're going to go hiking on Saturday. They're going to go canoeing on Saturday, whatever it might be, it's happening on the weekend, or if they're going to take a class, it's in the evening after work. So just knowing that going in, I think, is helpful for people.
Yeah, I mean, you got to coordinate a lot around, it's when most people have their free time. It's probably when they're going to be getting involved in that stuff.
Yep.
So you talked about, I forget the class name, I'm sorry.
The Foundations of
Recreation. Yeah. What else did you study, and does that have any impact on your current job, or is that just kind of stuff that you did on the
Yeah,
side?
absolutely. I mean, I took, that was the first class, but I took 2 years of classes to graduate with a degree in recreation management. So you learn everything from risk management, you take classes on risk management, you take classes on, how to lead games. Honestly, I took a whole class, 1 quarter on leading games. So it's varied and different and challenging and fun all at the same time.
Yeah, it's gotta be nice to have a job that's always, changing based on the people and just what time of year it is.
Yeah, changing on the season. Yeah.
So we're gonna keep talking when we get back, but we're gonna show you one more segment real quick about how to spin a ball.
What's up, guys? Eric here with another how-to. This time it's about spin on the ball. Step 1. As usual, you'll need ball and cleats. Step 2. Foot positioning. For this, you'll need to know where the feet go and how to strike the ball. You can either use the inside or the outside of the foot when you strike the ball, but the feet have to come at an angle. Step 3, strike on goal. If you watch the ball when you strike it, you'll notice that while the ball is in the air, the spin causes it to make a curve. Advanced move. Now this advanced move can also put spin on the ball if you hit it properly. It is called the Rabona. You swing your foot across your other and strike it with your laces.
And we're back from our charge chat. So we're going to be finishing up our conversation with Dave Hall, who's an athletic coordinator. I always want to say athletic director, but it just kind of mixes up in my head for some reason. I don't know
Close
why.
enough.
So you talked about how you took a class on like risk management and like managing games and things like that. Is there any like particular real skills that you learned that help with this job besides that, like that you didn't learn in college, or just like a real world skill?
Yeah, I think, man, hard to actually say something specific, but you know, you're always learning once you actually, you can only learn so much in the classroom, and then you actually got to get out into the real world and do the job. And for me to put a specific on, you know, what I've learned since, I think it's hard because I've learned so much and continue to learn so much. I mean, I've been in the field full time for 17 years, and I graduated college that long ago, and I'm always learning, always continuing to learn. So one thing I know that has helped me in my career is just people skills, being able to talk to different people. You're going to come across lots of different personalities in this line of work, and you're on the phone a lot. You know, you have people complaining about your leagues. They're complaining about referees. They're complaining about their child's playtime. Maybe they're complaining about their child's coach, the condition of the fields, the condition of the gym, any number of things.
Yeah.
And so being able to, you know, take those complaints and stay positive. That's a skill that I don't think you can really develop until you actually have to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I did a lot of sports growing up. Not really now, I'm not really unathletic, but I did a lot of sports growing up, and I've had my fair share of dealing with, you know, a lot of parents like to just complain about anything that's not going their way with sports, especially, because I think it like gets really competitive.
Sure.
You know, the kids get competitive, and the parents kind of just like feed off that energy, and so that's definitely something that, you know, I have a lot of experience with. So I understand that you need to have that as a skill, especially if you're the one managing things. You're probably going to take a lot more complaints than you know, a player.
Right.
So, besides that, what are some like common problems that you deal with just on a day-to-day basis?
Scheduling conflicts are a big one. You have multiple user groups competing for the same space, whether that be the same gym or the same field.
Yeah.
There's always scheduling conflicts that come up for the same, you know, different teams that they think they have the gym, but the other team has the gym. Field, vice versa. So that's a common one that I deal with all the time. And then the other conflict I would say would just be the complaints about, you know, the condition of a field or a referee's performance, their child's playing time. So those would be common.
So, are there ever? Not sure how the structure exactly of how your job works, but do you ever get like certain complaints that you have to like, I don't know if you have a boss, but you gotta like move higher up the chain, so to speak?
Yeah, sometimes. I wouldn't say complaints necessarily have to go up the chain, but you know, sometimes you'll have an incident, right? You'll have something happen where, let's say a couple of kids on a basketball court get into it, right? It gets a little too rough, gets a little too physical, and next thing you know, there's some pushing, there's some shoving. Yeah, oftentimes if that were the case, I'm calling in parents and players. I want them to come into the office. We need to talk about this. I'll bring in my boss just to have someone else in the room, so that they're hearing what I'm saying, so he's hearing what I'm saying, so it's all kind of out there in the open, and we can discuss how we're gonna correct the situation going forward.
Sure. So with stuff like that happening, is there any like really like memorable stick out time something like that happened where you had to like call in a boss and then it was like a whole process? Is there any like big thing like that?
Yeah, I'd say there's several. Unfortunately, those things happen. Like you said, people get heated in the field of athletics in the heat of the moment, And people say and do things that it's not really who they are, but it's the emotion coming out at that moment, and they've lost maybe their normal composure, and so they've blown up and it's gone beyond. I can think of a particular incident where a couple of coaches got into it, shouting match. I had to call the police because it was going to get ugly real quick, so I needed a little backup there. So had a couple of Marysville PD show up and help me separate a couple of coaches.
Wow. Yeah, I guess people can get really competitive about it.
Yep.
So we're almost out of time, so we're going to be finishing up pretty quick. But before that, we're going to cut to our last segment. So we'll be right back.
It's almost that time of year again, and you know you need to find that special someone. Someone to shower them with gifts, and maybe even give them chocolates. There's one problem. You can't find that special someone. What will you do now with all your wads of money? Buy Valentine GPS now. The product is simple. When you see an attractive person, just grab your Valentine GPS and stick it on them. Then go home, open Valentine GPS app on your phone, and you can see exactly where they are. Now you know where they live and you can send them flowers. But let's not send them too much flowers because that's just creepy.
And we're back to Marysville Gift Charger Chat. So we've got a couple minutes left. We're still talking to Dave Hall. We're just going to be finishing up here, figuring out anything that he wants to say about his company or business, anything that you guys at home might want to know about how you can get in contact with his franchise or company. I'm sure I don't know the term. But anyway, they can get your services if they need them.
Sure. So you can reach the City of Marysville Parks and Recreation Department. You can reach us online, marysvillewa.gov, so marysvillewa.gov. You can also call the Parks and Recreation office at 360-363-8400. But we have a lot of offerings coming up this summer. We have day camps. We have camps for kids ages 3 on up. Athletic camps as well. We have tennis lessons. Adults, we have stuff for you too. There's dance classes, there's art classes. But yeah, if you check us out online at marysvillewa.gov, you can see all the offerings, all the programs that we have.
So with all that kind of like variety and stuff, I know you said you do a lot of like basketball and spring soccer. Do you deal with like managing all of those things? Like you said, you have tennis lessons and day camps and sports camps and adult classes. You deal with all of that?
I'm not necessarily the coordinator or the manager of all those programs, but we are a very small department, so we're all involved in everything to a certain extent.
So it's real kind of like spider web. Everyone's dealing with everything.
It really is.
So what are some reasons that people would need to get into contact with you, just if they're interested in these day camps and things like that? Is there anything else that maybe? I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have actually the Marysville Opera House. If you're interested in music, theater.
Oh wow! So it's like a big variety.
Yeah,
it's not just
the Opera House has a lot of offerings. It's also available for rent. People who want to get married there, we do a lot of weddings there.
Yeah.
But it's a great venue. You guys can't do this obviously, but there's beer and wine events for those who can. So for the adults listening, watching.
I know you're out there.
They're out there.
So we're actually about to run out of time. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the people watching?
Yeah, just get out and recreate. The summer's coming. The sun's out. It's a great time to enjoy your local parks in Marysville. Great time to get involved, be active, be healthy. Go outside. Maybe this rain's done for a little bit. I'm wearing shorts today. That's a benefit of working in Parks and Rec. I get to dress like this. So, yeah, have fun. Enjoy life.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Have fun, enjoy life. Thanks so much for watching Charger Chat, and we'll see you next time.